Thank you, Ms. Ballesteros. In the case doon sa moonwalk na merong nasawi, may napatay, ano ang liability ng mga magulang nung pumatay?
Opo. Doon po sa case
Definitely yung bata walang criminal liability, di ba? Under our law, sa juvenile justice law. But what about the parents?
Okay. Gusto ko lang din pong linawin, Mr. Chair, na while the child may have no criminal responsibility, pero dahil serious offense yung kanyang nakumit, inaalisin pa rin natin ng kalayaan yung bata. Paglalagay doon sa isang facility, for example, na Bahay Pag-asa. As to the liability of the parents, pwede pong mag-invoke ng civil liability to the parents, at saka may mga hearing din pong ginagawa para po ma-determine ano po yung intervention and accountability na pwedeng ibigay sa magulang.
Sampan ng kaso yung victim, yung magulang ng victim, yung magulang nung nanaksak, may civil liability.
Yes,
Tama po ba?
yes po.
Let's hear muna si Ms. Ballesteros.
Yes, Mr. Chair,
May
tama
civil
po.
liability. So they can pay for damages, they can pay for the medical expenses, lawyers, etc. Correct? So hindi absuelto yung magulang. Tama? Can you use the mic para ma-record?
Yes, Mr. Chair, tama po.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Romano, go ahead. You want to intervene?
Sorry po. Actually po, case dismiss nga po. Dahil po 14 years old and 6 months yung bata. Parehas po sila. Then, nagkaroon na po ng settlement yung magulang kasi magkakaroon daw po ng civil case dapat. Pero po si Piskal po, pinag-usap na po sila at nagkaroon mo na po ng settlement na lahat po ng gastos ay babayaran po nung family, nung perpetrator po, yung CICL.
In other words, yung magulang nung CICL magbabayad sa lahat ng gastos.
Opo.
Pero patay na yung bata eh.
Yung
So hindi mo na mababalik yun.
Oo nga po.
Sige po. But ang gusto ko lang bigyan diin na hindi absuelto yung mga magulang. Meron siyang civil liability. No, pwede rin mademanda yung magulang kung magdedemanda yung biktima. No? And we're also joined by Attorney Mujahid Guro of the MBHTE BARM. And any comments to?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I have a statement to read, Mr. Chair. Okay lang po ba?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much. Honorable Chairperson, distinguished members of the committee, esteemed guests, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon. On behalf of Minister Mohagir Iqbal of the Ministry of Basic, Higher and Technical Education, or the MBHTE, thank you for the opportunity to appear before this August body to share the situation of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region, or BARM, in our collective efforts to prevent and address bullying and other forms of violence in school. Now, for the benefit of those who are not familiar with how MBHTE operates with DepEd, it is provided under the Bangsamoro Organic Law that the education system in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region is a subsystem of the national education system. So technically, while we operate independently to a certain degree from the Department of Education, we are still umbrella of the broader national education system. At the outset, allow me to present the current challenges in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region. While laws protecting children, such as the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013 and its implementing rules and regulations provide clear legal mandate for schools to act against bullying and other forms of violence, their implementation in the BARM faces distinct and complex challenges. First, there remains limited awareness among students, parents, and even some school personnel about what constitutes bullying, particularly where traditional practices may normalize forms of peer aggression. Second, cultural and religious sensitivities require that the interventions be carefully tailored to ensure that they are both legally compliant and respectful of Islamic values and indigenous traditions. Third, the lack of trained guidance counselors or guidance associates and psychosocial professionals in many of our schools hinder our ability to provide appropriate interventions to both victims and perpetrators. And fourth, resource constraints, particularly in geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas, continue to hamper the implementation of proactive anti-bullying programs. And lastly, the persistent effects of armed conflict and displacement have compounded the vulnerabilities of many of our learners, making bullying and violence prevention part of a larger agenda of building peace, healing, and resilience in our communities. Now, despite these challenges, the MBHTE has taken bold and innovative steps. In 2022, the MBHTE adopted the Comprehensive Child Protection Policy, which serves as an enhanced version of the Department of Education Order Number 40, Series of 2012, or the DepEd Child Protection Policy. But this policy is tailored to the unique realities of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region, anchored primarily on moral governance. In 2023, the ministry successfully cascaded the child protection policy to all 11 schools division in the region, ensuring the active participation of all school heads and principals across the BARM. This comprehensive rollout affirmed our commitment to institutionalizing child protection at the grassroots level. Now, when we cascaded the child protection policy of the MBHTE, we've heard also the same sentiment from our colleagues here from the Department of Education. What about the teachers' protection? Now, we answered this by saying that the child protection policy, although it is dubbed as child protection policy, operates not only for the protection of the teachers, for the protection of the children, but also for the protection of the teachers. Why? Because by defining the clear duties and responsibilities of the teachers, when violence happens and bullying happens, and with the adequate knowledge of teachers of these policies, they will avoid criminal or civil liability or administrative liability eventually. So it's just a matter of messaging perhaps. Now, going back, building on this momentum, the MBHTE established a robust and systematic reporting mechanism on based on the policy guidelines. The ministry has created a child protection unit under the Directorate for Basic Education to ensure the implementation of the policy and coordinate with the school divisions for the submission of reports and guide them in the proper resolution of cases. For the school year 2023 to 2024, a total of 356 cases of bullying incidents have been formally reported across BARM, and at least 225 cases for the school year 2024 to 2025 has been reported. In the same school year, meaning 2024 to 2025, there were 2 cases of other forms of violence reported also. So we started really the campaign of gathering data after the what you call that institutionalization of the child protection policy. Now going back, why the BARM has or had been inaugurated way back in 2029, and then in 2020 we have the pandemic, 2022, 2021, and then that's why as early as 2021 we had the massive consultation to enhance the DepEd policy on child protection, and then cascaded all over the region. That's why our reckoning point from of the cases in the BARM is from 2023 to 2024. So all these incidents have been duly resolved, with parties reaching amicable settlements with their respective schools. Appropriate sanctions were also administered in accordance with due process and the standards set by the child protection policy. A majority of these cases involved verbal bullying, although instances of physical bullying were likewise recorded. While this figure may be alarming, it gives us a glimpse of the gravity of the problem. On a more positive note, it signifies that our learners, teachers, and communities are gradually embracing a culture of openness, accountability, and the tenets of restorative justice. By simply reporting every incident, restorative justice is set into motion, and we can adopt a better strategies to address and respond to these cases in the future.